It's finally planting day. So we're ready to put some seeds in the ground. We've got onions. We got 2 different onion sets, carrots, 2 different types of carrots, and I think 2 different types of radishes. So cool season crops. It's still early for this in the season, but I got a little peat moss down today. Since it's a first year garden, we want to add some structure to the soil. I put a little fertilizer down as well too. It's another great product from Sunday. If you remember, we used some of their products when starting our seeds. This is a great solid product. You can just take the cap off and just kind of shake out around the plants or the area you want to spread what you need. It's real easy to use. I said I highly recommend something like this. This is a 544, and it's got 5% nitrogen, 4% phosphorus, and 4% potassium. It's also got some magnesium, some sulfur, and calcium as well. We're going to till this in, and we're going to break out the hoe, and we're going to start sticking stuff in the ground. Did you get that on camera? Yeah.
So one of the things we are planting today are red and white onions. So when you plant onions, you don't just want to drop them in your trench. You actually want to put them, so there's a top and a bottom. So this is the top and this is the bottom here. So you want to make sure you can kind of see almost like little root buds that you can see coming out. And then the top just has this little sprout. And I think we got one that's already sprouted in the bag. So you want to make sure that when you plant them, the part that's going to grow, the green top here, you want to plant that so that goes straight up. If you plant it on its side, it'll still grow, but then your onion will do what we call a gooseneck. Your bulb won't be as big either. So you want to make sure that the orientation of your onion is the root buds are on the bottom, and then that green stem is going to shoot out the top. And you don't want it to make more work for your onion. So just as when we started our seeds inside about a month ago, we labeled everything with what it was and when we planted it. So we're going to do the same thing here. So I wrote down Dutch onion and then 42225. So that's what we planted and the date we planted it. So that way when it starts to come up and a couple weeks from now when we forget what it is, we'll have these to remind us what's where. Because at some point we're going to pull them out, but in the beginning stages everything might look the same. So it's important to label what you got and where you have it. So we're out here today. It's towards the end of April, but we also know that gardening is a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. But one way to kind of get around that, I guess, is to plant different crops for different seasons. So today we planted some cool season crops. They like the cooler temps. So the onions, the radishes, carrots, and lettuce all like those cooler temps. So we're able to sneak out in the garden a couple weeks early maybe even a month early to get those cool season crops in. And then our next big labor push is going to be transplanting the tomatoes and the peppers out here, which will be the next step.